I got into trail running and it's had a profoundly positive impact on my life. And I'm gonna run through some of the reasons why that is. And hopefully by the end of this video, you're gonna wanna start trail running too. Today, we are in the hilly Glossop. It's about 30 minutes outside of Manchester. Watch my feet there, nearly fell. It's an amazing trail run, one of my favorite ones in the Peak District. It's quite hilly, it's about 600 meters elevation, and you get some amazing views from the top on the right day. So hopefully we get some good views today, but it's a little bit moody, so I'm not too hopeful. When I decided to start getting into trail running, I was living in Leeds at the time, and I decided to get it into my routine because I love being outside, love being in the outdoors, so why not make it a part of my training? So I started going out on the weekends to the Dales, to the Peak District, and treating it as my long run on a Saturday. If you're like me, you work a lot at the desk during the day, you're at the laptop a lot. So getting outside into the fresh air is very good mentally. Kind of brings you back down to earth, gives you a bit of a reset, gets you into nature. If you get out to places like this, it is such a nice mental refresh. As humans, we are meant to be in the outdoors. We're meant to be in cool places like this. We're not meant to be locked up inside the four walls all day. This is one of the steeper climbs in the Peak District, so if it sounds like I'm getting out of breath, that's why. And this is perfect for my ultra prep. It was great race-specific training. There was lots of hills in Snowdon 100 and Ultra Wales, so I was getting here to practice the elevation and to practice some of the terrain that I was going to be doing in the ultra, and I was really lucky actually to have this so close. In terms of your athletic development and your overall fitness, trail running is a great thing to do. Varied terrain and the rocks you run over, the divots in the ground, as your body tries to balance on those, it's going to help strengthen up your ankles, your knees, your core, and it's obviously great fitness. As you can tell, I'm a little bit out of breath. I'll often do my trail runs as a weekend long run, and I treat it as my zone 2 work, as a way to build up my aerobic base and my aerobic system, which is the endurance engine. Another thing with the zone 2 work is that it's that conversational pace. On the weekend, I'll often meet up with mates. We'll drive out to the Peak District or the Lake District and we'll go on a trail run. We'll chat whilst we go around. It's kind of the equivalent to going out for a pint, but the healthy version. It's a great thing to do on the weekend. Another reason why I love trail running is you can use it as a way to see amazing places. So we're gonna get some good views now. I'm gonna show you the views because I'm a little bit concerned in a sec the view's gonna stop as you get into the clouds. There are so many cool places like this in the UK. There's the Lake District, you've got Snowdonia, you've got Scotland, which I'd love to do some more trail running in. We are blessed with some incredible trails, with some amazing views. When you're out running, you cover a lot of ground as well. There's a lot of hidden gems out in places like this, and why not experience it if it's on your doorstep? There is something a bit primal about trail running as well. Being out in the wilderness and you're battling against conditions, against tough terrain, I think it helps us get back to our roots in a way. That might sound a bit mental, but hopefully you see where I'm coming from. And look, we're getting to the clouds now. Another thing, when you start trail running, I'd highly recommend you get some trail shoes. When I first started, I was wearing normal road shoes and I was slipping about like Bambi. Trail shoes have got deeper lugs, they've got really good grip. When you're out on the trails, when you're on the mud, grip really matters, particularly at winter. You might be okay in summer, but winter, especially having trail shoes will really improve your grip, your running performance, and also reduce injury risk. If you're falling over and losing your feet, there is a chance you get injured. So I've got some Hoka Mafatis. They are a great pair of trail shoes. When I did my ultras, they held up really well on the 50 miler and 100 mile mountain races. So they are tried and tested, they are really good. So we're getting near to the top now. Haven't seen anyone for about 10 minutes or so. And that brings me on to the next point. Trail running is great for solitude. Gives you time by yourself to gather your thoughts, maybe work out any issues you've been having, any things that are going on. And I always find by the time that I'm done, I feel like I've got some of the answers. Head feels a bit clearer, and there's not many opportunities like that during the day, I think. Road running can do that too, but I think trail running even more. You know, it's proper solitude, there's no one around. It's pretty barren. And yeah, that is one of my favourite things that I love about trail running. Pretty foggy, can't really see much in front. Luckily I know the route. I've done it a lot of times, but if I didn't, it might be a bit tricky to navigate. Another great thing about trail running is it doesn't really feel like training. Out on the trails, when you do it by yourself with mates, seeing cool stuff, getting out and amongst it, it really doesn't feel like training. So it's a great way to get fit in a fun and varied way. Just got to the top of the steepest incline of the day. It's a tough climb, that one, which brings me on to the next point. Trail running at times is hard, especially in the winter when it gets colder. And I think doing hard things occasionally is a good thing. Trail running in that sense is great. It makes other hard things that pop up in the day seem not quite as hard. So builds a bit of resilience, a bit of toughness. We're now at the top. Let's see if we've got any good views. No, but usually you can see right out across Manchester. You've got amazing views. Starting the decline now. Declines will be a bit quicker, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a lot easier. They're harder on the body in a different way. With the inclines, it can be quite tough fitness-wise. You find that your heart rate maybe gets up a little bit higher. You find that you're blowing a little bit more. With the downhills, you find that it creates a little bit more muscle damage. It's a little bit more stress on your knees, on your ankles. So shouldn't be taken for granted. You've got to pay attention, and also you're running at a faster pace. So you want to watch your feet a little bit more. You want to watch your feet a little bit more like me, and make sure you're not falling over. During my ultra prep, I found that my IT band was flaring up and it was causing me a bit of pain, especially on the road runs. And what I found was when I started getting out to the trails more, my IT band started to get better. Now I obviously was doing strengthening work alongside, I was doing stretching, but trails are softer underfoot, and the uneven terrain reduces the repetitive stress on your ankles, on your knees, on your bones. So it can be a really good way to navigate injuries. So if I'm starting to sell you on the idea of trail running, you want to start thinking about your approach now. You want to start building up your mileage gradually. You don't want to build up your mileage too fast. And then something else I would highly recommend is that you start strength training. Going out on trails, it does ask a lot from your legs, and it requires some leg strength. And if you've got imbalances, as I found out earlier this year, I had weaker underactive glutes, causing issues with my IT band. So I started strengthening my glutes and working on that imbalance, and the pain started to get a lot better. And I just genuinely felt stronger and better out on the trails. Trail run complete, always satisfying. When it hits bang on, you'll see it in a sec. Bang on 10K. So that was the Glossop trail run. It's a trail run that I do a lot. It's really close to Manchester. It's great to have that right on the doorstep. Hopefully this has made you want to try trail running. If you are going to try it, I'd love to know where's going to be your first trail. Where are you going to do it? How are you going to approach it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I will see you on the next one.